Hello viewers, welcome back to Daily Fun TV. Today we will talk about the last 24 hours to Hitler. Let's start. Adolf Hitler, one of history's most notorious figures, was a central figure in World War II and the architect of the Holocaust, responsible for the suffering and death of millions. The final 24 hours of Hitler's life were marked by a series of events that led to his demise. It's important to approach this topic with sensitivity and historical accuracy, acknowledging the immense impact of his actions on the world. April 29, 1945. As the Allies closed in on Berlin during the final stages of World War II, Hitler's situation became increasingly dire. On April 29, Hitler learned that his ally, Italian dictator Benito Mussolini, had been executed by Italian partisans. This news further underscored the impending collapse of the Axis powers. April 30, 1945. Morning. Hitler awoke on April 30th in the cramped quarters of the Führerbunker, an underground complex beneath the Reich Chancellery in Berlin. The bunker was a stark contrast to the grandeur he had once enjoyed. Hitler met with his remaining military staff, including General Wilhelm Keitel, Alfred Jodl, and Wilhelm Burgdorf, among others. Their discussions were grim. The German forces were in retreat on all fronts, and the Red Army was closing in rapidly. Afternoon. In the early afternoon, Hitler made an unusual decision that surprised those around him. He decided to marry Eva Braun, his longtime companion, in a brief civil ceremony. Hitler's personal secretary, Traudl Junge, and Joseph Goebbels served as witnesses. The ceremony was a somber affair, held in the map room of the bunker. After the marriage, Hitler and his inner circle were somberly aware that their actions had an air of finality. Following the ceremony, Hitler dictated his last will and testament. In it, he expressed his view that National Socialism would endure, even as Germany faced defeat. He named Admiral Karl Donitz as his successor and Joseph Goebbels as Chancellor. He also outlined his wishes regarding property and assets. Evening. As the day progressed, Hitler's resolve to avoid capture hardened. He held a farewell meeting with his staff, during which he acknowledged the inevitable collapse of the Third Reich. Hitler's personal physician, Dr. Ludwig Stumpfegger, prepared a cyanide capsule for him, as he had previously done for other high-ranking Nazis. Approximately 3:30 p.m. 4:30 p.m. In the late afternoon, Hitler retreated to his private quarters with Eva Braun. Witnesses reported hearing a single gunshot from their room. Hitler had shot himself in the right temple, and Eva Braun had taken a cyanide capsule. Their bodies were discovered shortly afterward by Hitler's valet, Heinz Ling, and SS Dr. Werner Haas. Late evening. With the situation dire and Soviet forces closing in on the bunker, the bodies of Hitler and Eva Braun were carried up to the garden outside. In a desperate attempt to dispose of the bodies, SS soldiers doused them with petrol and set them on fire. The fire was brief, and the remains were only partially burned before the Soviet artillery forced the soldiers to retreat. Aftermath. The remaining occupants of the Führerbunker attempted to escape the encroaching Soviet forces. The Red Army captured the bunker on May 2, 1945, effectively ending the Battle of Berlin and hastening the collapse of Nazi Germany. Adolf Hitler's death marked the symbolic end of his reign of terror, but the effects of his actions would continue to shape world events for decades to come. The impact of his actions continued to reverberate across the globe. World War II formally ended in Europe on May 8, 1945, with Germany's unconditional surrender. Conclusion. The final 24 hours of Adolf Hitler's life were marked by a series of events that reflected the desperation and chaos of Nazi Germany's downfall. It's crucial to remember that Hitler's actions and ideology caused immense suffering, and his death signaled the end of a dark chapter in history. The detailed account of Hitler's final 24 hours serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of unchecked power, extremism, and the devastating cost of war. Studying these events allows us to better understand the consequences of unchecked power and hatred and reinforces the importance of preventing such atrocities from occurring again. That's all for today. See you in the next video.